Powernomics. It's the National Plan to Empower Black America is going to teach kids about not just financial literacy. It's also going to teach them about group economics. And I think those things together will teach them things. I think both of these things together will teach them how to think scientifically, how to think analytically, and also think about causality. When you have to focus on, how do I put this? When you have to focus on yourself and it's yourself alone, that puts you in a survival mode. But if everybody's thinking about the community, then it takes you out of that survival mode. You can think more so about productivity. So that would be the thing that I would kind of talk to the boys about. Teach them about financial literacy. Teach them about how financial literacy can be married in with the community. So
I'm not gonna say that they saw it as a means to control, you know what I'm saying, inner city youths or whatever, but when they seen there's a correlation between the crime rate and rap music, you can't deny that there was something there, that they see something there in the music industry, and now it is a thing with trap music. I certainly believe that it's playing sex. That's why sex sells. All that controversy and shit, it sells now. I mean, it's been selling, but now we're in a point in time where we can show this shit on TV. And now it's being broadcasted to more people than it was. Like when I was a kid, you could barely get away with showing the ass in a thong on TV. I mean, nowadays they still censoring the black women, but you know what I'm saying? You see a white ass or Asian ass all day. They starting to show more black, you know what I'm saying, people, because like, I just seen the VMAs the other day. Twerking all through that shit. I'm like, y'all snap.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I am the host, HT, aka High Thinking. And here we are with a video with the young brother that pretty much has something that's very specific to say to, I would say like the Gen Xers, they have a lot to say about, that has a lot of that's trying to coach the younger kids and stuff like that. So I got a question ask everybody, like, regarding like inner city youth, like specifically, Chicago and black kids that stay in that stay in the city. What's like, I don't know, one or two things that you would teach the kids like coming up, you know what I'm trying to say? Especially the boys. Chuck?
Well, there's a tomorrow. Today isn't the beginning and the end of your life. Whatever you're going through right now is a season. The way to come out of it is education. Going to school, working hard, develop a work ethic, and focus. Not being distracted by maybe negative friends in the neighborhood or quick money in the neighborhood. Remember that what you do today will definitely affect your tomorrow.
Sounds good, King.
What was the question again?
I was asking, what would you tell the boys? What would you tell the boys around the block, young boys? Just one or two things.
To get out the neighborhood. What you talking about? Like the survival? What are we talking about?
Well, you heard what he said. Just like talking about words of encouragement or advice. Like, what are you gonna tell them? Like, what would you tell them?
Don't be a follower, man. I always try to be a leader, man. If you feel like something you don't want to do, you don't got to follow nobody, man. Just go home. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you get into a lot of trouble, man, by following other people in life. You know what I'm saying? Your gut tell you not to do it, but you like, I did it because they did it. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever get into that type of situation, listen to your gut, man. Get up out of there. It save your life sometimes.
Sound good. Okay. Jay?
Man, I don't even know how I could even follow up after that, man. They laid out some good answers, bro. I mean, what you want from me, bro? What you want me to
really want from me?
What you really want from me? Gonna drop a scripture from the heavens, like, but for real, like what Chuck said, you know what I'm saying? Don't be distracted. Get your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused on what you need, what you want to do in life. What Keem said, you know what I'm saying? Don't be a follower. That's real, because a lot of these decisions that these kids is making, I remember my teenage years like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like damn near about 90% 90 to 95% of the bad decisions I made was because of peer pressure. The other rest was just me being a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing any better. So it was like, to get a real positive role model, it would makes a world of difference, for real. But it's like it has to entice the person. You got to entice the people, because like a lot of the positive role models nowadays, people be like, nah, that's corny. You know what I'm saying? Like you listen to rappers who don't rap about shooting, you know what I'm saying, shit that's killing us as a community, killing us as a people. They be like them weirdo rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy to me, because like they're not even weird. They're just not rapping about what you want to hear. So it's like, how do you get that medium to someone who is from that culture, that lifestyle, but is preaching, like not preaching, but like really trying to spread the message of something better?
Become Tupac.
But you can't do that without being labeled the next Tupac. And don't nobody want that.
That's true.
Ooh,
All right.
That was the only person that ever saw found the medium.
Yeah, that's true. And I would say Bob Marley was sort of a median back in his time, because he came from the streets.
Yeah, but all his music was always positive, though. You know, he was always, you know.
And that's another point I was gonna make. It was during the time where you can come out with positive music, and it would sell like crazy. Nowadays, since the inception of NWA, gangster music has, like, they seen that as something. I'm not gonna say that they saw it as a means to control, you know what I'm saying, inner city youths or whatever, but when they seen there's a correlation between the crime rate and rap music, you can't deny that there was something there, that they see something there in the music industry, and now it is a thing with trap music. I certainly believe that it's playing sex. That's why sex sells. All that controversy and shit, it sells now. I mean, it's been selling, but now we're in a point in time where we can show this shit on TV. And now it's being broadcasted to more people than it was like when I was a kid. You could barely get away with showing the ass in a thong on TV. Mm-hmm. I mean, nowadays they still censoring the black women, but you know what I'm saying, you see a white ass or Asian ass all day. Yeah. They starting to show more black, you know what I'm saying, people, because like, I just seen the VMAs the other day, twerking all through that shit. I'm like, y'all snap.
Yeah. I seen a Megan Thee Stallion on the stage, standing straight up vertically, not bent over or in the twerk position, just jump up and down.
Yeah, it's just
like it was taking off, flying off or something.
It's just a matter of selling that sex. The record labels, she ain't. I don't know if she's on a label yet, because I remember like last time.
She independent.
Last time I heard she was independent. So it was like, but she knows what the element of sex does for her public image, and she wants that to go up. She don't ever want it. Honestly, as a public figure, you never want your shit to go down. So whatever you can do to keep that shit up without going too far out of your moral compass, they gonna do it. And that's what keeps people in that circle today. It's all messed up. So we got to find that influence that's gonna motivate us to do better.
You know what? I give my students, trying to get them to think scientifically. You know, how to reason and deduct. You know, and things to that nature. So I come up with a story. It's not mine. It's something I read a while ago. How does driving your vehicle every day affects the coral reef crab? Now, there's a lot of stuff in between the coral reef crab being affected and you driving your car. You know, fossil fuels go up in the air, create acid rain, bring up the acidity level of the ocean. It affects the coral reef. Coral reef can't survive. The fish that thrive off the coral reef die, and the crab have a population boom, and then they die because they eat up all that, and there's no more coral reef, right? How does the Democrats benefit from? And I promise you, I don't want to sound like a Democrat hater. I'm not. I'm actually hurt. But how does the Democrat benefit from the youth continuing to listen to the negative music of today, or some?
God damn.
That door was cool.
I did close it. I thought I put the lock on it too. Yeah.
Keep talking, man. Yeah.
Anyway, nevertheless, how does that happen? Well, they censor music. The government can censor music. They can put censors, and they've done it in the past, video games and music. But they allow this to continue on because it develops a mindset in the youth that listen to it, and they usually don't progress. They try to mimic what they hear. As a result of it, they wind up being dependent on public aid, housing, and everything else, and then teach their children to do the same thing. And the benefits go to the Democrat because these programs are how they make their money.
As far as I'm concerned, get them this book here, Powernomics. It's the National Plan to Empower Black America. Is going to teach kids about not just financial literacy. It's also going to teach them about group economics. And I think those things together will teach them things. I think both of these things together will teach them how to think scientifically, how to think analytically, and also think about causality. When you have to focus on, how do I put this? When you have to focus on yourself and yourself alone, that puts you in a survival mode. But if everybody's thinking about the community, then it takes you out of that survival mode. You can think more so about productivity. So that would be the thing that I would kind of talk to the boys about. Teach them about financial literacy. Teach them about how financial literacy can be married in with the community. So
yeah, that's real. Financial literacy, definitely that too.
Real talk.
So, all right, let's get this show on the road.
In the long run. And so I'm finna break this down to you in the same way that I broke it down to Buddy that was in jail, and the same how I broke it down to this kid. Because you thinking that you standing on business and you doing what's right for your friend, but you let other people down in the midst of that and make you lame as hell. It make you a coward in my eyes. And so I just want to, and I can speak from that because I spent 5 years in jail for doing some real nigga activity, right? And so that bothered me. It bothered me that somebody leading this baby down the same path that they led me down. It's bothering me that somebody ain't trying to cuff him and stop him. Instead, these grown men that's my age, these grown men that's 35 plus, that's 40 years old, is entertaining this ignorant ass street life. We losing babies behind this. We losing our nephews and our sons behind this. We losing kids in our community. It's mamas grieving, literally grieving daily. People are dying daily behind this. And y'all still trying to glorify this? Whether they dead or they in jail, we losing people behind this. And so it bothers me, it upsets me when I see grown men glorifying this and teaching this to somebody else. And you can't even be authentic about how it made you feel when you went through it. And so when there's nothing, I was telling this guy that was in jail, I'm now ministering to this guy that's talking to these kids and encouraging these kids that you got to stand on business. You got to do this real nigga activity. No, fuck that. It's lame and it's goofy and it's taking you away from your family. And so when I was in jail, there was nothing real about somebody else raising my son. It was nothing real about me standing on business for him and leaving my son to go fend for himself. It was nothing real about that. It's nothing real about you going to jail and you taking a shower with 100 guys in the shower with you. There's nothing real about that. It's nothing real about you going to jail and your mama grieving, your mama crying because she don't get to see you for the next 5 years. I remember getting on the phone. I remember calling home one day and I remember talking to my mama on the phone. And I remember talking to my mom and I'm thinking I'm finna call home on this good Sunday and everything finna be cool. I had been incarcerated for 4 years at that time. And I get on the phone and I talk to my mama and she's crying. I got 1 year left. She's crying. I'm like, what's wrong, Mom? What's wrong? And she said, and I remember her saying it as clear as day, I hate you. She crying. And I only seen my mama cry twice. One of them was the first time it was for 9/11. The second time it was because of me. I hurt my mama. Now let's take some accountability. I hurt my mama trying to be a real nigga to them. And I got my mama crying over here. That's real nigga activity? Y'all don't talk about that. This the stuff that y'all don't talk about. Y'all want to glorify everything else. Y'all want to get praise and y'all want to wear a badge of honor for going to jail, but you don't want to talk about who you hurt in the midst of that. You don't want to talk about how you did that goofy ass, unreal nigga shit in the midst of trying to be a real nigga to them. right? And so I remember calling my mama, and I remember her saying, I hate you. I hate you. And I'm like, Mom, it's downhill from here. What do you mean you hate me? And she's like, it's downhill for you. She said, I'm the one that's taking depression medication because of you. Because you gone, because I miss my son. Because of dumbass decision that you made. And I'm thinking it's over. And I'm like, it's over. It's downhill. I'm trying to convince her, like, stop crying. It's over. And she's looking, and she's bawling. But she's speaking her truth. She's telling me, she say, you hurt me. I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt. It's not over for me. I still don't see my baby. I still can't see my son. It's over for you. It's not over for me. And even in the midst of her hating me, I remember getting off the phone with her, and I remember getting a letter in the mail that day. And I remember her sending me a money voucher. And I remember getting money from her. And so now I'm in my mind, she hate me, but she loved me enough to send me money. She hate me, but she come and visit me regularly. Ain't nobody else doing it. And so the realest nigga stuff that I could have done was change my life for my mama. Change my life for my family. My son out here depending on me. The realest thing I could have done was get my life together and stay here for him. My community depended on me. The realest thing I could have done was stand in this community and be a father to all the boys that daddies that ain't here. The realest thing I could have done was make better decisions in my life so that I don't end up in there and let the people down that's taking care of me, letting down the people that's holding me down and the people that love me for real. The real love is telling me, no, I ain't finna do that. Real love is pulling me up out of that and saying, you ain't got to do that. You can go a different way. That's real love. And y'all think that these niggas love y'all for real. No, your girl love you for real. But you want to risk going back in jail and letting her fend for herself. That ain't real nigga activity. Ain't nothing real about that. Your girl sending you money and she got the kids outside. And she got the kids while you locked up. Ain't nothing real about that. My mama was paying for a lawyer while I was in jail. Ain't nothing real about that. Get your life together, man.
All right. Okay. Any initial thoughts?
Sometimes you can see someone's spirit, somebody's soul, and that brother just showed you here is that had to come from experience. That's real talk. I haven't heard it any better than that ever in the 55 years I've been on Earth. That brother is. I agree with him 100%. There's nothing I don't agree with.
So, like I said, majority of the message is mostly about what I got at least from the conversation, or what he was explaining was not just respecting the women of your life, like your mom and your girl, obviously your daughters as well, nieces and nephews, everybody. Your community, your family, you low-key got an obligation to help as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what being a man is about. You know what I'm trying to say? And to succumb to like a moment, like a brief moment of like, I don't know what would be the. What do you describe that when you just make a snap decision that's not gonna serve you, that you know you're gonna make them, that you know you're gonna serve some time for, like it's a red, you just seeing red or just whatever it is, however you want to describe it. The fact of the matter is, like when stuff like that happens, there's a lot of people that's gonna be affected by it, not just emotionally, but also financially. She's sending, like I can't imagine, like I'm not in a position where I can just be. I could just be sending money off to people. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't have it like that at this current time. Maybe it was a little bit different back then, when he was in prison and stuff like that. But with the times getting harder and harder and harder as it is, I mean, how else could really put it? Like we really don't have time to be sitting there occupying anybody's prisons when our family really, really needs us. You know what I'm trying to say? So. That's like the biggest thing I got from that was like the economic side of things, the duty bound things that men, I mean I don't know if it really puts it, but what we kind of placed there to do, and that's again to be a benefit to the people to people in our lives. You know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, my problem is he be saying like people don't really understand what they're getting into. I mean, most times all the time you understand what you're getting into. You know, if you live this type of life, it comes with this type of life. And I get tired of niggas when they go to jail when they realize that. You see what I'm saying? Only reason you realize that shit because you got caught. You would have never realized the type of life you were living until you got caught. You had no problem doing what you was doing until you got caught. It's only a problem when niggas get caught. So, I mean, only reason he even had this type of clarity because he had to sit down for 5 years. But at the end of the day, you chose that life, bro. I mean, you chose that shit. You knew that shit was going to make your mama cry. We all know that's going to make, because that ain't the first time you see somebody mama cry wasn't your mama. You see what I'm saying? I get tired of niggas always saying they get the recollection when they get caught. He would have still been living the way he was living if he never got caught. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be understanding that, you know, to a certain extent. And with the whole thing trying to be a real nigga to somebody else versus your mama, I mean, you signed up to be a soldier. So when you say, I'm going to ride for this nigga, I'm going to die for this nigga, that's what you signed up for.
He chose to be a follower.
You know what I'm saying? No, he didn't choose to be a follower. That's what he signed up for. He wanted to do this because he liked it, this shit. You see what I'm saying? He liked it. You don't like it no more when you sitting in the box. Before you sitting in the box, you like going outside. You liked it doing what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? It was only a problem when mama cried. You know, I guess the last year you was in there, it finally touched your soul. You see what I'm saying? I get tired of niggas that would maybe trying to blame everybody else. Oh, they tricked me. No, they didn't. You saw it and you wanted to follow. You like, I like this shit. I want to be like you. Just like everybody else. We see it and we say, I want to do that. Nobody's tricking you. Nobody's coming up to you like, hey, little homie, you want to get down with me? They're not doing that. You chase after them. You know what I'm saying? And I get tired of niggas always trying to blame other people for their actions. So, nah, I wasn't feeling it.
Okay. Anybody? Come on.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, from my personal opinion, like I was just talking about how people need like the in between.
No, just mic close to their mouth, bro. They can't pick you. They can't pick you up.
No, I was saying like, you know how like people need like in between, like someone who come from that life but knows something better. You know what I'm saying? Like King said, he wouldn't have known had he not got caught and went to jail. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's honestly, that's how we learn though. You know what I'm saying? Like we fuck around, get caught, and we have to reflect. Now, I mean, sometimes I be wary about these people. Because sometimes they come out here and they think like they got a message and they want to spread it and they want to be like the next motivational speaker, but you know, they want to be scamming people sometimes, you know. But I mean, I try to look at his intentions. I mean, on the surface level, he looks like he's passionate about what he do, and I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if he's true about, you know what I'm saying, what he's talking about, his mission, man, more power to him. I think people need to listen.
I just jumped to it. I never even thought about what Kimo was saying, or even what you just said there. So I would like to say, if he's sincere, I agree with everything he said. But I also agree that he did make a choice and all that. But I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's giving a message to those who are out there that may be in those positions. And it's a peer pressure thing like these guys were talking about earlier. Or is a thing where they feel obligated because they're doing this. Well, if you chose to be in this position, it is an obligation because there is language, bylaws, and rules to the street.
Yeah, that you
know what I'm
signed
saying?
up for.
So yeah. On that hand, on the other hand, on the flip side, don't do that shit. Don't do it.
If you didn't want to be a real nigga, you shouldn't have signed up to be a real nigga. That's the point. So yes, you had to go out in that situation and be what you decided you were supposed to be for that man to go to jail because you said this is what you signed up for. And I just hate when niggas cry when they go to jail. Nigga, this is what you signed up. We all know we gonna go to jail if we do this. If we decide to rob a nigga today, we all said like, man, we may go to jail at the end of the day.
Right.
That's a possibility. Nobody fucking tricks you.
Go ahead.
Let me add this. I was there. I mean, literally, I grew up in this thing. I consider myself trying to help any young brother who's trying to do anything. I make that my number one goal because older cats don't have a history of helping younger people. I try to do so. But when I was out there and I was doing my thing out there, dope, coke, weed, whatever. Go down the street, you get beat. When I got busted, when I got caught up or anything, no one knew anything. When I went to jail, no one knew I was in jail because I didn't want to bring any kind of harm or pressure to my family. I did this. I'm gonna pay the. Can't do the crime unless you can do the time type of shit thing.
I knew what was
and I said, only reason my mother found out I was in there because I was in there at 16 years old and wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, they had to call.
So they had to call and do all kinds of stuff to get me up out of there, send me the job for. But so I don't do that because I try to. But regardless, even with that, you do affect people who love you and want to see you and care for you and things to that nature. So just don't do it. Either you do it and the hell with them people, or you don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do want to just speak to like the problem of like when you're young, you're like really, really impressionable at times. You can see a lot of kids be seeing things on TV. They see the influence. They see the people that aren't and living in survival mode, like their mother is and stuff like that, and they see and they believe that's like the only option that's available for them. They don't get a lot of black kids. Like it's not just the fact that they don't have the finances to back like a myriad of opportunities for them. I mean, sometimes there's not even an example for them to go off of for them. Like what if there was like a bunch of, imagine they try to get, they try to throw the military at you, what I'm saying, at that age as well. They try to throw some other things just to trying to swoop you up and get you kind of caught up with that type of wave and whatever like that. But imagine like some black brothers that was like some pilots or something like that was coming through and trying to inspire kids to fly planes and stuff like that. Imagine like some architects, some scientists, like just like maybe more black teachers or something like that, male teachers or something like that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they got to get more involved with the fire department or something like that. Maybe they got to do more things. I don't know. Who knows? What I was just trying to say is that when the wrong person steps up to these kids and try to, I guess, court them into that lifestyle, if they're impressionable enough, I mean, they brains, they quote unquote don't know any better. They should know. I'd argue they should know some better. They just hard headed. But like, they'll get caught up in that lifestyle, and they'll fantasize of being this real nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't know. I do respect the range of y'all opinions said from soft to pretty hard or to pretty like hardcore on this like that. I was definitely kind of surprised and stuff like that. But I mean, this is this type of thing you're gonna get on the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I just think it's really important that this community focus, these community type conversations, they ain't gonna do all that great with the numbers and all that stuff, but putting it out there at all is I think we doing something very, very positive and very, very impactful. So y'all ain't got any last thoughts regarding this video?
No, not at all, man. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you gotta take accountability for your actions, man. Quit always pointing the finger at everybody else. As a man, you learn to take accountability for your actions. So
even when you're a boy, and it is what it is.
I would like to say though, anybody 35 years and older, grab one of them youngsters, man, you see in the neighborhood, or just anybody trying to do something, anything you might be in a position to help them greatly, or even just a little bit. But I always try to propel that next generation, man. Do that. That didn't happen for me. I was misled in a lot of different ways, but I was intelligent enough to figure out I was being misled and was able to make decisions based off of that. And everybody doesn't have it that everybody's not that fortunate, to think through things. And the pressures of life is great for a lot of different people in a very big way, and you can be the difference to make or break them. As an adult coming into their lives, helping them, either be it a word, a sandwich, or whatever it is. Give them a hand. All right.
Okay. Jay, what you got to say?
Ooh, bah.
Okay, great word, J. Rashid. I'll catch you on the flip side, man. It's been the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast.
Yeah, nigga, that's what you get.